I've always had this hunger about me. Like when I was a boy, my stomach growled like it had teeth. Like there was a beast beneath my skin just waiting to be unleashed. My mama asked the doctors what was wrong with me, and no kidding, he said, "Miss Donna, relax. Your baby boy just got that dog, But my father's still the biggest dog I know. Like you could throw him a stick and he'll fetch a whole new family tree. Cito, my mother, with both the lady and the tramp, believed the puppies like garbage in the street, but I guess that's why they call it a litter. My mom has built a home of herself, and all he do is chew up the carpet. He rips at the foundation like he was at the space we took up. When you break a home, you tend to break everything in it. Now, every time I leave, she checks for fleas. She thinks I'm gonna go dog somebody's daughter and flee. She's looking for the animal in me because she spent years just searching for the human in her husband. I can't blame her for tracking the men in her life when all her traumas got paw prints on them, because mine do too. My whole life, we've been wondering what to do just to make him stay. Like the first time he came to one of my games, he said he wouldn't happen again because it wasn't worth it to watch a loser. I went from a boy to a golden retriever. I brought home a state championship between my teeth. I thought if I ran like a greyhound, I could bust the distance between us while I'm chasing a relationship. He's still chasing pussy, and I wish that these were just things that a therapist knew about me, but being a dog is only dragging the skeletons out of your closet to bury their bones in the yard. I was 13. Well, my father told me that his father left him in Jamaica at the same age. Left him to be head of a family. Now he's stuck in a cycle of chasing tail. 14. When I found out I got a baby brother who shared my same spots but can't call the same spot on Mother's Day, I learned a dog is bred. When the God in you get turned backwards, when you've lived with this devil in your spirit because you just want somebody to hold you and love you and tell you you're a good boy, so starved for affection, by the time it comes, you bite in the hand that feeds you. This anger and emotional abandonment turning all your Michelangelo into Michael Vick. So now I gotta fight everything, because fuck everything. And my father fucked everything until he fucked everything up. And he tried to fight my mama one time. Like, her son ain't a boxer. Ain't a guard dog who'll leave your body to rot while the cops come. If you think you go bully my mama, he grab her, I grab him, he grab a knife, and it's the tightest we've ever held each other. So my mother becomes a leash. He pulls us apart and screams how she can't call no dog catching police, but refuses to watch us turn the bones in the yard because that's how you train a dog. You hit him with the newspaper. You up all those stories of black boys going straight beyond the therapy he need because there ain't no safe space for us. There ain't no safe space for us that don't look like a cage. And we don't even have the language to say how much this shit hurts my father and I. I've spoke 1,000 times since then, but we ain't never talked once because I know as much as his blood hounds me, he a wounded dog too. Howling at the moon, begging to know if all dogs go to heaven, but in case they don't, I pray our teeth grow dull. I pray our lungs go too tired to growl, and that damn dog and me and my father get put down so we can finally, just sit and heal. Yeah.
Welcome to the episode of Poetic Decor. I'm your host, Cito Blanko. We're in the My Brand studio. The person that keeps on pointing is Chev, one of the most inspirational writers I've ever seen, international poet, killing these slams. I remember coming up on the scene, bro. When he was a young boy, must have had the jeans jacket on. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. He's one of them, like, I have to go home and start writing again. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna lie, these young niggas is about to pack us up, bro. Like, when said niggas pull through, they say you gotta AI you for your survival. I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, shit getting real in the field, bro. But what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Appreciate you having me.
Nah, man, we had to have it, man. Especially the last time we had linked up, you know what I'm saying? It was an interesting day. To say the least, it was an interesting day though. How's your day going though, man? How you feel today, man?
Oh man, it's spectacular, man. I got me some real pizza for the first time in a minute.
Okay.
I'm saying got a little Italian food. Mm-hmm. So we hit the deli, got a sandwich early. Wow, I'm saying I did nothing but eat. But for real, I had a feature out in Harlem. We got to perform outside. It felt real dope to be close to the people.
That's fire.
And whatnot. It was organized by APAC Arts Co.
Okay.
So shout out to them. They've always showed love like my whole career.
I feel like I know APAC. I feel like I know the APAC Arts Co. Yeah. That's dope, man. That's fine, man. I think outside, you bring up a good point. Like being outside, close to the people, like the intimacy of it. I feel like so many times now, like these stages have so much bright lights that you don't get to actually like see the people. You don't get to look them in their eyes as they digest the words and the things that you're speaking of. And I generally I miss those because I feel like the intimacy of poetry is what attracted me at first. It's like the honest conversation, like being close to your listener meant something to me. But right now, like not on some too short shit, but it's my favorite question. What's your favorite word right now?
I'm just playing.
So what's my favorite word?
That one.
Not that one. Not that.
Intentional.
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 Okay.
That's my favorite word. Right
Okay.
now.
So what do you feel like you're being intentional about right now?
Super intentional in my art in the sense of not every. I used to think every stanza had to have a meaning or a purpose. Then I thought every line did. Then I thought every word did. Then I thought every letter. Now I think every second you're engaged with the audience has to have a meaning, because even if I'm doing or saying nothing on stage, I can convey a message or the space in between things, including the things themselves. I've also taken more control over like my personal life, my professional life, and just saying, if you be intentional about as many things as you can't control the result, but you can control the form on the shot.
Which is a fact.
And if the form look good,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the percentage gonna be all right.
No, that's real. That's real. I like that. So basically you're saying like even the space has a bar, no pun intended.
Thanks.
Like beyond and taking it to a professional level, I think is really important. Because the discipline of being obedient to the craft. So when do you feel like it was the shift when you felt like, yo, you know what, like I can write or I can spit on stage, I can engage the crowd versus like, no, like I'm gonna take this spoken word shit to a level where it's like, I'm getting a passport stamp to go to Mexico. Like this is like, this is what the fuck I do.
I
Like-
wanted that when I started. It was, the shift was being actually able to get there
Okay.
and able to do those things. And that came from watching people. That came from reading and watching people. That came from Rudy Francisco. That came from Black Chakra. That came from Ayanna Albertson, Ayanna Florence, Lachelle the Shooter, Eris Kian, my best friends, Maya Wright, Don, Nathan Wallace. That came from going back and listening to the Portia O's, the Ebony Stewarts. I'm not gonna run out of names.
Nigga, I ain't gonna hold you. Once I'm ready for the Grammy speech, like this, like not all to forget all the people I forgot. Like you remember?
Because I looked at poetry, and you know I slam pretty often, so I looked at slam. I was like, why is the only sport where people feel like they shouldn't watch film? And
That's real.
everything you want to do, someone has either done it or tried it, or laid something down that could be like the precursor to it.
That's real.
So I'm just trying to, I was just trying to consume, and learn. Okay, this worked, and that worked, and this worked, and this didn't. So I could skip a couple of my extra failures by seeing, you know, where somebody else might have messed up at, and then I'm still gonna fail a bunch myself. And
that's
and I'm going to keep. But yeah, I'd say any shift that happened was I got better at researching, I got better at studying, and then that made everything else work out.
No, I think like even like the balance between poetry and in sports, and like taking those analogies of like watching film, making sure you stretch, routine, like elements of what you do before you go on stage. Like one thing that I do now that I used to do before, but now like it's so important, is like I have to drink tea. Like I know that shit mad Jamaican, like, but like yo, I have to drink tea before I go on stage now, and it just gives me a certain clarity. It's something about the heat that allows me to just kind of like get a synergy of like, you know what, this is the moment, the time to lock in. Like make sure you do these things. Like I try to have the same pregame routine, but it's tough for different cities and they food. Like some of these cities got bullshit ass food. I'm sorry. You just like, like you're like, yo, bro, you really think that a Dunkin' or Chipotle is the same thing everywhere? And it's kind of like, yo, some of y'all niggas guac is horrible, bro. But that's just
Not y'all can't make guac.
no shout out. You know what I'm saying? No shade to Phoenix, but y'all guac is crazy. But
I'm not gonna judge you in your non-guac making that, because I can't make no guac neither.
I can't make no guac either, bro. Guac would be tough.
gonna go try. I'm gonna go try to make some guac, and if it's hard, I'm gonna come back and just apologize in the comments when this drop. Like, our fault. We didn't know what y'all was going through, guac makers.
I ain't gonna lie, the guac makers out there. If you make good guac, bro, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. Like, real talk, man. I'm gonna get you a sponsorship with Gucci Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So, how do you feel about the state of like poetry right now? Like I think for a long time, like we was talking about like your nationals during like COVID nationals, like I got disassembled and it wasn't the same. Mm-hmm. Like right now, New York was closed, which has been a big staple. Like I think we met at New York. Like that's really where like so many great writers have been. Is like, matter of fact, New York's not closed. It's reimagined. Reimagining. You know what I'm saying? It's on another level. We're taking it to another level. So when New York come back, I know it's gonna be a movie. But how do you feel about the state and where you feel like the poetry game is at right now?
I love it. I love it, man. I wanted to be like, yo, back in my day it was more physical, man. These punks always flock. Nah, actually, I love that now I'm seeing everyone have their own lane and their own method of doing things, and you can get respect, you can get truth, you can get purpose, you can even gain some capital.
Yeah,
if you in it for that, that's cool. You know, bills gotta get paid. I ain't judging.
No, we're right. No.
In any way you want to go, there are people who are going the route of, I want to throw the big show that feel like a party, and they're making their money. There are people who are competitive and they want to slam sometimes, and they're getting their growth out of that, and sometimes a little bread on the side too. There are people who are dropping great books. There's Blood Fresh by Ebony Stewart. There's Excuse Me While I Kiss the Sky. I think that's Rudy Francisco's. There's just book. Maya Wright stays dropping a book. It's like almost every year. I feel like I'm slacking because how many books she released.
Hold on, where the book at? You cooking?
I'm cooking. It's getting ready.
It's getting ready.
It's marinating.
It's marinating. It's marinating. I ain't gonna lie. I be telling people all the time, bro. It's 4 quarters in a year, bro. Y'all be going overtime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need a quarter. Like, it's Q1, Q2.
Yeah, like, when I start rambling and like plugging people, I love there are so many different ways to skin a cat these days, and everybody getting that handle. And just when I get online and I see certain people, oh, such and such just did 1 million views, or such and such just won a blank amount of dollars, or such and such got to go on TV, or such and such got to be on the news, and this. I'm like, that's hell yes to all of that.
For real, no, it's a win for everybody.
Facts.
I think that's important. We don't talk about it enough of like expanding the like poetry, like economy, not just financially but spiritually, but also the growth to let the world know that we're here to stay. Like it all starts with the word. And I think I've seen so many people's like Wikipedias and bio have poet in it, and they start to do other things, but a lot of the source of it is poet. And I love the fact that so many people can just be poet and stay poet and still live the life they want to, and not feel like they have to expand and go somewhere else just to finally let their story to be heard or to be told in a different capacity. And I fuck with that, and I love that. We was talking about it like off the mic in a sense of like balance. Like the sense of balancing your writing where you're not giving one thing, because those moments it feel like you pimping a butterfly.
Yeah.
So like, do you feel like you create better from pain or from abundance, loving, like a utopia?
The same, but I create different.
Okay.
They both create what is reflective of that time, in a sense of what I'm going through and what I need.
Okay.
In a sense, I can think of pieces I've made or pieces I've written in the most painful times of my life, and love them. I can think about ones I've written in utter bliss and love them. I think the situation people get into when a lot of people say, oh, I can only write from sadness, I can only write from pain, or some people can only write from joy, is you don't face them. Like when you're in those emotions, you can't cheat the poem. It's gonna know. It's gonna know if you try to cheat the poem.
Say that louder for people to back.
You cannot cheat the poem.
Nah, it's gonna know.
You know, you might be able to get one, two audiences and they clap, but then when you're trying to take it all the way, you realize it's not doing what you need it to do to the room or to yourself, and it's because you cheated the poem. Go back and feel what you need to feel.
Yeah.
And if that was happy, that's great.
But if
If that was sad, that's necessary. If that was angry, that's necessary. If that was release or anything, like be honest and face your emotions, and you can write from either one of those, or create any type of art from either one of those.
Yeah, today just been a day of just a nigga getting his shit checked, bro. Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like, nah, there's moments like, yeah, that feeling. Like there's more feeling of like you cheating the poem, and also not feeling it. Like I remember like getting in spaces where it's like you might like you gotta write for this and write for that. You got this slammed and this may be a commission piece, and before you know it, you're not processing your feelings, but you still have to show up as a writer for a job, but you don't get to show up as the person that writes the poems, and that becomes difficult. And it's like those elements and spaces to process your emotions. So what do you feel like are things that you do to process your, like what is your pre-writing process? Like, do you jot things down? Is it just like, do you start with a line? Is it a topic? Is it a word?
I start with a concept. I'll open a doc, I'll write the concept in the doc, I'll close the doc, I'll go on about my life. And throughout like the day or the week or the year, I'll think of a line and then I'll put the line in there. Think of another one, then I'll put that one in there. And either I'll get a deadline that says, hey, you need to create a poem. Or I'll just feel it in me to get started, where I'll sit down and I'll look at everything that's in here. And like, what music brings me to this feeling? What thoughts bring me to this feeling? What other pieces have I heard that helps bring me to this feeling? We gonna take maybe 5 to 10 and just consume and just build that energy, and you can't leave the desk. Cause I don't know about people, I'm a little ADHD baby, I'm a little anxious, can't sit still ass nigga. I be wanting to get up and go and just like walk around, do whatever. It's like, no, Chev, sit down.
Sit down and get the job
Look
done.
at that poem, and all this energy you got, put it right there until there's something on that page.
Nah, that nigga, they tell.
And like
you can
some
tell.
poems, it take 20 minutes. Some poems, it take 2 years. Like, and I think when it comes to the commission joints,
Yeah.
I can't put out anything I don't believe in. I can't. So if I'm not gonna fall in love with the product, I'll fall in love with how well I can do this.
That's real.
And I'll believe in the quality of how well I can do this.
That's real. I feel it.
And you know what? Fuck it. I believe you should brush your teeth. So if I gotta advertise for Colgate,
We
then,
gonna-
you know, it's gonna be the hardest Colgate poem you ever heard.
No, that's real. No, and it's just the balance. I think the balance of it all like shows us we're always where we need to be.
For sure.
And that I think sometimes get lost in the rat race or gets lost in like the traveling aspects of it. So like what's the wildest thing that's ever happened to you at a show, or what's the wildest thing that happened to you at a show or from a supporter of your work? Matter of fact, just at a show. I'm not gonna do that. That's gonna be crazy.
1, 2,
No,
3, Cancun.
No. 1, 2, 3, Cancun is crazy. That's the wildest. That's the.
It's up there. It's up there.
It's up
but
there.
we gonna
I ain't gonna lie, that's top 3 for me.
I ain't gonna do you.
We gonna tell the story. I don't
chill,
get. Listen.
We chill.
Alright, bro. I don't
chill.
get. Listen,
Let
man.
me think.
You on Poetic Decor, bro?
Let
That's
me
what we here
think.
for,
Let me
bro.
think. We gonna sing something else, so I don't gotta go there.
I'm gonna go there, right? Me.
Hold on,
I'm gonna go there.
wait.
Listen, I'm gonna
You
go
don't
there.
gotta do
Me. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, Cancun, bro. I ain't even. All I'm gonna tell you is I'm the first person at that poet table that got they plate of food. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna say I don't want to do this because I like
No. Go ahead.
when people get what they need.
Uh huh.
And you know, if somebody needed peace, I hope they keep that. If somebody put forth a great effort to receive a very helpful and useful prize, I want them to stay as proud of themselves
and I think
as deserving as they know they should feel, because they ain't do nothing wrong.
in that part, I think this is my discrepancy when it comes to it. I feel like a lot of blessings and amazing things can happen in somebody doing things not the right way. Like, I feel like there's a lot of coaches out there that didn't coach their team the right way, but it doesn't mean it didn't save that kid from being on the streets. So I'm not necessarily mad or opposed at that kid for showing up every day and doing what he loves to do. But we also have to hold accountable to people that do not follow the structure or do things up to a standard in which we, but nonetheless, get to the question. What's the wildest thing that happened to you at the show? I'm not even, no.
Inside joke on the podcast is crazy.
It's no need though. What? So what?
But if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So what's the wildest thing ever happened to you at the show?
Wildest thing, child, to me.
I'll be asking questions I don't know the answer to. I'm trying to. What's the wildest thing that happened to me at a show?
I'm thinking now, because I gotta top that, like somehow.
Nah, it's I'll say one time we was on tour. I think it's the first We Back Outside tour.
Word.
Everybody that was on the tour, like eventually ended up missing a show in the sense of you did your part and the rest of the show you was outside because you was talking to somebody. And it's like sometimes you get around your supporters and they like love what you do so much that you find yourself out there talking to them for 3 hours, and sometimes they're crying, sometimes they need to express. It's like even their friends, their family aren't understanding, and something about your work or your poem allowed them to see something or inspire them that they just have to share with you. And at first I used to be like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get back inside, I'm trying to sell these books, I'm trying to do everything, interact, but you gotta realize like there are very few genuine moments that you have in this life where people get to connect on that level with somebody you've never met before, but you feel like your lives change from that moment on. So I think that's probably one of the wildest things in a good way, that I kind of used to be like, yo, man, like, are you really pulling me away from like me doing my job right now? That I look at like, no, you don't know when that person needs that conversation. So I'll say that's probably some of the wildest things in a more positive way that's happened.
Yo, I just thought about it, and this is not positive. See how that went? I had a feature in the Bronx.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Can I say that word here?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, 2 niggas got into a fight outside because of the poems. And this was the funniest shit ever. Like, well, no, it wasn't, because, you know what I'm saying, black unity and peace and all that. But it was, because what? So I'm doing a feature in the Bronx, and I get to a poem I got called Black Boy.
Okay.
It's a real intense poem.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things happen. It's emotional.
Oh, the 2 niggas out of 2 because of your poem.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought.
It's an emotional little powder keg of a moment, right? So one dude, like Lil Mans, he started crying.
I remember Black Boy. I lost to a couple slams. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, motherfucker.
He started crying a little bit, but he like, what? He letting it go.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing him. And I'm like, hey man, feel what you gotta feel, process what you gotta process. And Big Dude was like, yo, shut up, I'm trying to hit a poem. I'm like, oh. He not really being disrespectful, but
he just trying to go through.
Like, nah, man, I'm going through it, man. I'm trying to be here with you. Yo, man, shut up. I'm trying to hit a poem. Like this, that, and third. And they went outside to squabble about it. And we like, hey, yo.
The nigga
First of all, I got like 3 minutes left in this set. Don't mess my money up. Second of all, I don't know who's right, but don't call no lefts. Like, put this
Did
down.
he stop crying while he was fighting, or he doing like the middle school fight when niggas be crying and fighting still?
Yeah, like the elementary school when you first
you first
start using your cuss words. Like I was like, oh.
I'm not crying. I'm not laughing at him crying. I'm laughing at the space of just like, yo, bro. It's you don't know what the poem is gonna do to a room in certain moments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in other spaces, like I've had dudes be like, yo, bro, thank you for that poem, bro, because like you just made my night. Cause now like she just happy. And I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Happy as sis, bro, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. And there's other nights when niggas look at you like, bro, why did you say that poem? Like you talking about me right now, and now she remember everything I done did, and I'm like, yo, bro, that got nothing to do with me, bro.
See, we do
I'm just holding the mirror up, bro. Like it's the truth. You talking about that? Like one time I was at a show, but I had to really stop a dude from like really like, you know what I'm saying? All I'm gonna say is like he had the I got it on me. I got it on me. Yo, nah. And it's but I think that's the interesting part. And this is why like mentors and things are so important. Because like, yo, shout out to Chev. Like, there's so many times I think I have a story that nobody has ever went through.
Chev.
And I don't
care what happened.
Chev is the poetry archive. Like anything that you think has ever happened, he really know it. And you have to go, and I was just like, yo. So when I told him the story about it, he's like, yeah, I've been there before. He's like, there's moments that he was in a poetry spot and got robbed. I said, they robbed the poetry spot? I said, for what? Chakras and sage? He was like, nah, man. Like, what is this?
$20 in a beef fatty?
Yo, $20 in a beef fatty is crazy. It's crazy. Oh. I was just like, oh man, like that's crazy. And also like but I love where it's going. I love where it's at. I appreciate you, and I appreciate like everybody that looks up to you and what you're starting and what you're carving out. Because like we have the black chakras, but like is this a different, like the Caribbean shit matters. I think I remember one day I was at New York, and I remember I lost. And this is like when losing at New York was a crazy thing. Like I remember like walking in Norican Poetry Cafe, like I'm talking, it's so random that you gotta walk by people like this on some excuse me.
When it used to be packed out.
Yeah, it used to be packed out.
Applesauce on the
yo,
floor,
and I remember
balcony.
like taking a loss, and I'm sitting in the corner, I'm like, yo, I'm tight. And another Jamaican walked up to me like, yo, big man, like you from yard, and you on the stage going like that, like yo, I'm proud of you. And that meant so much. And it's just like you're putting on like for the men that are able to express themselves, talk about what they want, and also for the culture. Like I think that means like so much. So, like how do you feel like your heritage influences your work?
Oh man, it influences my family, so it influences me, so it influences my life, and therefore the work is gonna reflect that. I still ain't got to the point where I'm gonna put any patois in the poems yet. You know, people been asking, but I'm like, yo, chill.
Yeah, like let the beat build. We gonna get there.
Let the beat build. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get smooth on it, in and out. But even yesterday, like I got to talk to a dude like from Jamaica, like right after I did the Voices of Power feature in Brooklyn, and like he was talking about the story and how he felt like he was there and he could resonate because like he went through like similar situations, and even on the concept of Juneteenth, he got into a conversation with someone involving like blackness and what holiday is supposed to mean to certain people, and I was able to put him on to one of my favorite poets from Ghana, which was Yao. And I was like, dog, all of our stories everywhere, like especially across the diaspora, like as black people, there's gonna be similarities.
Yeah.
There's gonna be things we can all learn from each other, we can all relate to. And when I can, I try to keep some sort of a representation of my heritage and my culture on it, because I want to take that with me everywhere, because I'm so proud to be like the son of two Jamaicans who decided it was worth me coming to college to make that trip over here. And I thank them every day for it.
That's real.
Even if they don't hear me, you know, I love you, Mom.
Even if they don't hear me, man. What you got coming up, man? What you got coming up?
Little old me.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What airplanes you about to get on? You know, make sure you give your gram, give all that. Let them know whatever quarter the book coming out in. Let me stop putting the pressure on you, motherfucker.
OT is coming out, double OT.
Double OT.
But I say immediately I will be headed to Ciudad de Juarez, Mexico to compete in the Abya la Copa America, the Continental Poetry Slam. I'm the first American to go since the inception of this official event.
Congrats on that. How long it took you to learn all that, my son? Like you said that perfect. Like you've been on a couple Zoom calls. Like
There's been some practice.
There's been some practice.
I put some shots up. I ain't gonna lie. That was one thing I was always cold at in Spanish. I could pronounce some things now.
Okay. All right.
So if I could read it real quick and be like, yeah, it sounds like I studied for sure. Shout out Professor Fuentes. But yeah, I've got that, and that was an opportunity I was able to earn, and I'm really happy for it. We're being sponsored. Hopefully I do y'all proud and whatnot. And later in the year, we're gonna get to compete in the World Poetry Slam in Togo, Africa. You know what I'm saying? Gonna get to that. And I'd say the first thing I'm doing right after we get back from Mexico, you know, right here, right now, Poetry versus Hip Hop, July 10th in Boston, actually. I gotta go see the Celtics.
Okay, you're going to Boston? You gonna do City Winery or?
City Winery.
That's fire. That's dope.
They got Cloud involved, they got D-Ruff, Amanda Shea.
That's fire.
Yeah, that Boston team tough, but
no, that's fire. That's fire.
You know, I ain't going out like Kyrie.
No, you're not. You better not go out like Kyrie. You better run that up though. I ain't gonna hold you. We gotta. I think
that's
we
what
got
Kyrie. If you happen to see this, by the way, you know what I'm saying? He's one of my favorite players. I ain't
handles like crazy though.
I'm just trying to sell tickets, dog. It's all love, bro.
I think we July 1st. Me and I we be at City Winery in Boston. So we're gonna go back to Bean Town, run it up real quick. Yeah. No, 100%, man. No, I appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? It's been vibe. You know, 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Look, he actually going to Mexico now. Like that's what you call. That's what you call like manifestation, premonition. Like
if you see this and you hit us up, you know what I'm saying. If you hit, I ain't gonna speak for him, but if you hit me up and DM me 1, 2, 3 Cancun, I will
tell you the
real
whole story. Matter of fact,
with
once the episode drop,
and clips, and it's hilarious.
well, he got the videos. When it drop, I'm gonna go live and tell the story. Fuck that, cause I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell the story. All right, man. We out of here. Poetic Decor, your boy Cito Blanko. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to official Mike Lenz. We in the My Brand studio, and we out. Spent the first 8 years of my life waiting to be the man. Ever since that day, I've been trying to execute this plan to show the world I know how to stand on my own 2 feet. But paying bills ain't better than playing 2K. Like Manhunt was way more fun than being on the phone with Sally Mae. Like waited my whole life to be the man. And now that I'm here, sometimes I don't know where to stand. Like, do I fight for the rights to own land? Or do I just cut dimes and throw bands? Do I trade my future so I can sit in first class? Do I just scroll on IG as my time passed? It was explained to me that life is as simple as can be. You got real niggas and you got fake niggas. But what's the definition of real when I'm so high, I don't know how life feels, waking up from a nightmare like, damn. Think I'm in the nightmare still. So I put the condom down because her kingdom is the only place that feels real. Like I'm tired of validating my manhood with sex and checks, taking shots, just so I can be happy for an hour, but I'm still in debt. I walk these streets looking for a heart that beats. But I guess enough never rolls out the concrete. Like I'm a man. I'm not sure what that really means to you. Like I'm a man. And I ain't scared to say that sometimes I don't know what to do. Like I want a family one day, but can I love my wife for her truth? And not just because she wrote as my roots. Can I be a father to the youth? Can I be everything my father was? And wasn't at the same time, can I hold back the pain from the world? Will I hug my future little girl when she cries? I'm not sure being a man really means anymore. But in this life, it's not about keeping the score. So making sure you got the right team on the court. It's about making sure you got the right team on the court.